that ASEAN seems to be tilting towards China with more partnerships and alliances. What's your view on this?
There's been this perception all along. That's why I made it clear in my original statement to the ASEAN leaders that on the after the recommendations by the foreign ministers in their first meeting in January in Langkawi, is to continue to engage both with the United States and China, at the same time with other countries. But so following that, I wrote to President Donald J. Trump to say that the foreign ministers, on the recommendation of foreign ministers, we agree to proceed with United States ASEAN summit. That was written. Then we have this ASEAN GCC China summit. So I don't think it's tilting in any way. I mean, if it's tomorrow, I receive a letter from President Trump to say, yes, we'll have a summit in June, or not June, it's too fast, but then the next few months, I mean, we don't have a problem. What is the ASEAN's position? It's centrality. What is the focus? Welfare, well-being of our people, economic relations, trade, investments. So if it means working with the Chinese, yes, we'll do. The United States, yes, we have to, because as you know, Malaysia in particular is considered to have become the hub for semiconductor, and over 60% of our exports are to the United States. It makes a lot of sense to continue to engage and have reasonably good relations. Even on the issue of Myanmar, the consensus is to continue to engage, and now we have gone to a stage where both parties are now in consultation, although at the lower key level, and to just focus on prolonged ceasefire or expanded ceasefire, then, or extended ceasefire, I'm sorry, then humanitarian assistance, and then proceeding with that, the initial discussion, but subjected to or confined to the broad parameters under the 5-point consensus. All right? Now, to me, it is certainly not a departure, but major progress in terms of getting them in. Timor-Leste, for example, after being protracted sort of negotiations with terms and no real consensus, but this time, finally, we reach a consensus. On tariff, for example, while proceeding with bilateral negotiations, Zafar was there in the States, but the consensus was to have some sort of understanding amongst ASEAN that decisions should not be at the expense of any other country. So we will have to protect the turf of 650 or 660 million people. So I think, to me, is a major progress. Now, from there, of course, the ministers, various ministries and the officials will have to work on what can then be affected in terms of real implementation of programs by October.